Hi, boys and girls.
We're at our secret garage where we'll be testing the 2017 Ford Fusion. This is the upgraded Platinum version with the EcoBoost engine and all-wheel drive. We'll be talking about these things later. This is a nice looking car, especially in this metallic white paint. And our view from the front. These are some interesting looking light bulbs. So we're going to turn off the sun and test these out in the dark. We'll do that right now. I'd say it's dark enough. Let's see how these headlights work. From a distance of 100 feet away, we're putting the lights on a wall at low beam, more than adequate. High beams, plenty of light here. Here we have the high beams on building 300 feet away, plenty of light. Drop down to low beam, barely reaches out, more than adequate for city driving. You can see the difference when you're on an actual street. Lights up signs quite a long distance away. The beginning price of the base Fusion runs around $23,000. I wanted to see how much this Platinum was, so I looked at the window sticker. Unfortunately, we didn't have a price because this vehicle is not for sale. It's one of the first off the production line and reserved for important people like me to drive and not to be sold. In fact, as you can see by the plate, they shipped this vehicle all the way from Michigan just for little old me. See what an important guy I am? And I've got an ego as big as Donald Trump too, don't I? Okay, all kidding aside, I did get a letter stating that the Platinum starts at $38,620 and with a few options at $40,280. Hey, for this money there better be something nice under the hood, so let's take a look and see what they sent us. There are 4 engines offered. The base power plant is a 2.5 liter putting out 175 horsepower, rated at 21 to 32 mpg. Next on the list is a 1.5 liter EcoBoost putting out 181 horsepower, rated at 23 to 27 mpg. Then we have what we're looking at here, a 2 liter putting out 240 horsepower or 231 horsepower, depending on what book you read, rated at 21 to 31 mpg and 2-wheel drive or 20 to 29 mpg with this all-wheel drive. Connected to a 6-speed automatic transmission with a rotary shift knob on the console here. There is a sport button for more aggressive driving in the automatic mode. Or steering wheel mounted paddle shifters if you want to shift the gears for yourself. If you're a real big spender, there's a 2.7 liter EcoBoost putting out 325 horsepower, giving you 17 to 26 mpg. Turns the car into a real rocket, around 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds. It's going to cost you a lot more than the 40 grand we had on this car. So far, this vehicle has clocked 171 miles since reset, showing 18.8 mpg. Mainly in city traffic. We'll be taking some more extended trips, especially on the highway, see if we can improve this a bit. Let's take a look at the interior. Room for 2 adults in the back. Nice modern interior on the front. Now, one of my pet peeves in the car industry is when you order leather seats and you end up with material that looks, smells, and feels like plastic. Not a problem here. This looks, smells, and feels like leather, and some of the best leather I've ever seen in a vehicle. Whoever was in charge of this at Ford did a great job. Yeah, this leather really smells good, so there won't be any fast food, hot dogs, hamburgers, fries, drinks, or anything in this vehicle while I've got it. We get a nice gauge cluster with lots of useful information. Some of the buttons on this climate control could have been bigger, but I suppose it will do. The glove box is medium-sized. Medium-sized console for all your excess junk. We get a very large trunk. And yes, there is a spare tire under there. Even if it is a small one. Enough show and tell, let's do some driving here. This car isn't a lightweight, running around 3,500 to 3,600 pounds, and if you add the drag of all-wheel drive, that's a lot of work for an engine to do. I thought this tiny little 2-liter engine would be overstressed, but that's not quite the case. In fact, once the turbo kicks in, moves out pretty good. And these brakes operate just perfect, I might add. If you're looking for a sedan with a smooth ride, you've just found it. One of the most comfortable rides I've driven. This takes speed bumps at 30 miles per hour. Didn't feel that one either. Number 3. Uh-oh, this is a bad one coming up. Oh! See? I'd say this is pretty smooth. Usually I take the speed bumps at 20 miles per hour, but hey, 30 miles per hour, no problem for this car. This isn't a race car, but the cornering ability is far more than you'll ever need. And this all-wheel drive system helps handling, keeping the grip on the road, especially when it's wet. Getting a little spin. I just took a trip, 80% freeway, 20% city, 23.4 mpg. We'll see what we can do better later on. So let's take a short expressway trip at around 70 miles per hour to see what our best fuel economy is. Here you go, 27.4 mpg. I think that's the best we're going to see. As far as the Fusion vehicle itself goes, this is an excellent car and definitely worth considering. Very few complaints. In fact, perhaps Ford made this a little bit too good, because people ask me if it's better than the Ford Taurus. In my opinion, yes it is. Nothing wrong with buying a Taurus, but if you are, check this one out first.
I don't want to be in the video.
It'll make you famous.
How are you doing today?
Will you tell me what a nice looking car this is?
It is. I love the Fords.
How much you think it is?
God, probably 45.
You're almost there.
Yeah?
42.
Yeah, I was close, man, because I've looked at these.
And that's got the cheap engine. You get the better engine.
Wow. This is sweet. I would own one of these.
Yeah, but 45 grand, let's get up to BMW and Mercedes territory.
That's like...
In about 4 weeks, we'll have a Ford Fusion Hybrid due. If you're interested in more fuel economy, be sure to look out for that video.
This is the Edsel, unlike any other car you've ever seen.